and start talking about Madden 20. The first information just dropped on Madden 20 today. And so they talked about the cover athlete. And I had written an article talking about who might be the cover athlete. And I thought it might be time for defensive player, but it was pretty predictable. Patrick Mahomes is the cover guy. The Chiefs had a great season. But they dropped something different that they well, first of all, there's a few things that are different. This is the earliest release in like Madden history, I'm pretty sure. The official release date is August the 2nd.
That is
And
early.
that's really early, really, because we're usually looking at the third August, at the third Tuesday in August. This and now the funny thing of it is if you pre-order it, you get it on July 30th. We're
Mm.
almost back to when NCAA football used to come out.
Yeah,
That
that's like
NCAA
E3
football used to
almost.
come out in July. So that's pretty significant. It's a little scary too, because I'm wondering that means that just that much more of a crunch was put on that development team to put this game out.
Now,
So
do you think it's a crunch, or do you think they gave them the resources to have that release?
I'm hoping that's the case.
Because I think specifically because of the Frostbite engine and because from a sports standpoint they're doing great with it, they have more back end developers that they can dedicate to each sports game. And I wouldn't be surprised if they yank guys off of FIFA and NHL and even UFC, threw them onto Madden for a quote unquote crunch period and allowed them to be a lot more efficient. It fails in a game like Anthem where the infrastructure is not built up for that yet, but Frostbite's been in the sports games for a little bit right now if you count all of the sports games. So I would imagine that the technical side of that is pretty sharp.
Well, honestly, I have a little bit of a different take on Frostbite and its impact on sports games. I don't think it's been positive. I don't think that it's a
I
good
didn't
match.
say it was positive. I just said it's efficient.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if
I
I
mean,
call it negative either, but
yeah, I don't I haven't dug it. I really haven't. And I waited. I wanted to give them a few years with it across more than one game to kind of see where they were going with it. And yeah, I haven't I put it like this. I think that it has been overblown because I don't think that there's been a ton that I can see from that's a difference. Not visually, not from an animation standpoint, certainly not from a collision detection
oh, you
standpoint.
must be talking about Madden. Have you met him?
You said I must be talking about who?
Madden. Have you met
Yeah,
him?
yeah. I mean, it just
Oh, does Madden look like he did last year?
yeah.
Weird.
It's pretty static at this point. So well, let's talk about the features though.
Yeah.
There is a single player campaign mode that they have coming out now. It's called Face of the Franchise QB1, and it's inspired by Patrick Mahomes. The most exciting part of this is that they incorporate some college football elements. You can choose between 10 actual college football universities, and you go through the actual college football playoff, which is they actually have the license for the college football playoff. So this is going to excite a lot of people
That
because
excites me. I
yeah,
tell
they
you what, because I really miss when I could load my NCAA franchise player into Madden. That was like the
yeah, that
best
was
thing.
great. It was great, and I loved being able to load the entire draft class from
Hmm.
a NCAA football, the graduating class, and make
Yeah,
that my
tell
rookie.
that whole story.
It was fantastic. It was one of the like back in the day, you could actually do that on NCAA Game Breaker and
Hmm.
NFL Game Day from Sony. They were like the first ones to ever do that, and then Madden picked it up after that.
Yeah.
But
Quick update, by the way. Denver got blasted by the Spurs. They lost
yeah,
almost 20,
yeah, Jokic had a great game, but wasn't good enough.
which is bad news because that's exactly what we're saying. He could play as well as he could possibly play. They could still lose by 20.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that feature, it sounds great. You know what? Another really cool thing about that feature is that they have a dynamic scenario engine, right? Now, this is something that fans of the My Career mode for 2K really need to listen up about, right? One of the biggest problems with a story mode, right, in a My Career or that type of concept is that everybody ends up experiencing the same thing. You all have to go and do the same cutscene. You all have to go and do this. Well, EA is saying that they have a scenario generator that will dynamically create different challenges, scenarios, different situations based off of what you do and what your player does. So essentially making it where no one's single player campaign experience is the same. If that's the case, that's pretty fantastic. But I am being cautious with that because who knows if it's going to actually manifest itself in the way that it is originally being introduced. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that they have is something called Superstar X Factor. And so essentially all this is who remembers signature style from like NBA Live
Oh
and
yeah.
2K, where that's when they first implemented stuff like Steve Nash licking his fingers and James Harden stirring the pot and those different types of things. Even I don't know, even like Tim Hardaway's killer crossover, they have gameplay things and celebrations that are supposed to be designed to mimic the best players in the NFL to make them more stand out. That could totally be a feature that is more flash than substance. We got to see how it really breaks down. I don't know. Now, a key date. Here's a key date for Madden fans. May 23rd. May 23rd is a huge date. The reason why it's huge is because this is the day that they say that they are addressing legacy issues in the series. If you are a longtime Madden fan, then you know there are a lot of legacy issues in the game that have been there for I don't know how long, right? It's to the point where you just play around them, almost like going right on double dribble. You already know you're gonna make more right. So it's at that point. So we'll see. We'll see. I with Madden, man, I am the least trusting of new Madden features than I am for any other sports video game. When EA says that they have new things for Madden, I'm always like, okay, we'll see. And I'm not saying all of them are like underwhelming, but a lot of times that's the case. Now with 2K, I know it's going to I know they mean for it to do what they say it's going to do, but is it going to work? Is the thing with 2K. Is it going to work the way you said it's going to work? With Madden, a lot of times that you end up seeing it and you like this is even it works, but this is not even anything. This is not it. This is still the same game. So I don't know.
Well, the thing for me with Madden, it's hard for me to get hyped about Madden because really this has been a problem since 2005, but I think it alleviated somewhat around the Madden 25th. Madden's not that fun. It's not that fun of a sports game. There's every video game, not just sports games, every video game, and we're going to get into this with Mortal Kombat, is supposed to have something that's just fun to do. I always compare it to jumping in Mario. You play a Mario game and you simply jump, there's a little bit of pleasure that comes from it because it's designed well. It's just well tuned. What in Madden is fun? What's the one thing that's just fun to do? You could just do it over and over again, even if there was no rest of the game. I don't feel like anything is what?
I was gonna say the only thing that I can think of in Madden that is like fun in that way is having the ball in the open field. Now, I'm not talking about when you are behind the line of scrimmage because that part of the game is very flawed. But once you get the ball in open field and you're trying to elude tacklers, that part is fun.
You got a little bit of rush right there, right?
Yeah, that part's fun, but almost everything else is in need of
it's functional.
Yes.
But it's in need of a fun grade, right?
Yes.
Everything else is functional, but it's not fun. We talk about UFC a lot. Now you play UFC 3. Tell me, have you done this? Have you ever knocked somebody out faster than you thought and got up off your chair and walked around the room like he was a real person?
Dude, I have so much literal fun with
right.
UFC that it's
like
just,
when I was playing career,
Sutton just said something. Hit stick used to be fun, but when they nerfed that, then that was there. And somebody else, Tay Shakir, said that interceptions are fun. Interceptions are pretty fun, especially when you're ball hawking and you take control of the DB or you take control of the linebacker.
That's
and
rewarding.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun.
But yeah, I think overall they're a lot. The game is and I know they hate this comparison. So if any EA developers are getting a hold of our shows, we never know who's watching. I apologize. But what's missing is there's an organic quality to NFL 2K5 and All Pro Football that Madden has not attempted to bring in yet. The quality that is about inches, not feet. You know what I mean? The
Mhm.
quality that I could juke somebody just a little bit. I don't have to fake him a whole character away. I can put enough touch on the pass to get it just barely over the shoulder or to the far shoulder or out over the defender's outstretched hands. It's just not subtle enough to make you feel like you're really in control and empowered. It's gotten better, but it's still not it yet. It doesn't have that fundamental fun quality. And we're not just trashing EA because I think goals in FIFA have more of that feeling of fun. And definitely UFC 3 has that feeling of fun. Literally, almost every part of the game brings some kind of joy when it comes to the mechanics of it. They just need to find the joy in the mechanics before I can really get truly excited about Madden. I'm always interested because I love football, but you
You
know,
know,
it's
you
just
know
not
one of
there yet.
one of the things that gets me about Madden and even to this 2K for sure with this. I want and I know this is a lot about how many characters are on the screen, but and I'm going to use a non-sports game as a reference. I remember I've played Tekken forever, right?
Yeah.
I've played it forever since the original. I played every one. I played it a lot, right?
Are you as bad as you are in the show in Mortal Kombat?
I'm actually pretty good at fighting games. I'm actually pretty good. Like
Oh,
I get pretty decent. I get good pretty quickly, or at
so you
least decent.
so you are down for at me bro lobby in Mortal
I am
Kombat.
down. Absolutely,
Okay, all
I'm
right.
down for a live stream of a Mortal Kombat match.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm
Y'all
down.
heard it, people.
Yeah, I'm down. But what I like
Keep that same energy.
what what I like what I like with Tekken is after something happens, right? After like sometimes the action moves so fast, you're like, wait a minute, what happened? What did I get hit with? But
Uh-huh.
when the replay plays and it's slowed down, you go, oh, I barely missed that
Right.
spin kick and I got
Tekken's
caught with
very
that
good about
uppercut.
that.
Get very good with that.
Excellent point.
But Madden, something will happen that you thought was cool or you didn't understand what happened and you replay it and you're like, I still don't know what happened.
Right.
How
Right.
did he get that? How did that not, it misses like, and this is lending itself to the point that you were just talking about. Well, with it's about inches and not feet, because they need an element where I'm running with Saquon Barkley and there's a little small gap that I got to fit through and I'm able to hit the sticks in the exact right way and spin between two defenders. And I'm like, whoa, when it happens. And I go ahead and I run for my touchdown, or I run and I get tackled, pushed out of bounds, whatever happens. But then I run back that replay and I look at it and I'm like, look, he just barely got through. Oh my God. That's what I want to feel. I want to see that. I want that level of an experience. And that is either non-existent or few and far between in Madden.
I think you put it excellently. See, you should be a writer. If you're watching this podcast, this show, and you somehow don't know who Mazique is, he writes for Forbes, and various other sources, as well as his own stuff. So get on top of that. But you put it very well. You want to be able to say in a play session, stuff happened that you can't believe you pulled off.
Yeah,
I can't believe I did that.
yeah,
And that comes from the inches. And going back to UFC, I know you've done it. Dodged back just enough
just enough.
to put the knuckles on the chin or the kick on the chin at just the right time.
And anybody will tell you about any type of combat sport in real life. It's not about making a guy miss a lot. It's about making him barely miss, because when you make him barely miss, you
You
can
still there.
counter quicker.
Absolutely. You're
He's
still
still
right
right
there.
there. Oh, bow. Those are the knockout shots. It's not, ooh,
And that's the thing about all pro football. I picked up all pro football super late, like 2012 or something like that.
Mhm.
Right? And because I was kind of hard on the game when it came out because it wasn't 2K5 graphically and all that other stuff.
I
I
think
didn't
it.
play.
You know what? I think it was 2K5 graphically, and that was the problem.
It wasn't. I tell you from an artistic perspective, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well,
And I don't mean to drop the artist card on you.
no,
There's
no,
certain
no, no. You probably no. I dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it.
there's certain things they did with the textures that were more muddy
Yeah,
in All Pro, and it turned me off. But it's still from an animation standpoint, it was there.
yeah,
The overall presentation still had certain things. Anyway, I picked it up late, and I've been playing Madden. I was so ridiculously refreshed. This is cold after 7 years of being away from 2K5. Being able to dance between the line with Barry Sanders is magical.
yeah.
It's like legitimately magical. Like you're like, oh my God, I forgot how much fun a football game could be.
I want to put some. I want to put you guys up on something. If you're not up on it, there is a insanely well organized simulation 2K8 league, all pro football 2K8, called the Simulation Football League. If you're not aware of it, open another tab and pull up YouTube and search SFL football playoffs season or something like that. They have basically taken all pro football and they have run season after season after season of simulated football. So basically, these guys have all their own players. They've put in all their own players, and they're not actually playing. They're like drafting fictional players and putting all this stuff together. And literally, they have a traditional sports level play-by-play guy calling the games.
That's sick.
And it's insane. It's
Can
so
you tweet out a
insane.
link of that?
Yeah, I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat. It is
Yeah,
when you
dope.
see it, it will totally renew. If you lost any thirst at all for you know all pro 2K8, you will see what I'm saying. It is
Yeah.
crazy good. Like I don't, it's hard for me to even put it in the perspective how good the presentation is and just how good the game, how good of a game of football this
Yeah.
thing plays. It's crazy. I'm telling y'all, take a look at that right there. I just put it in the chat. This is
And
just one random game that they
and
have.
I don't mean to be disrespectful towards the Madden developers because we're not 2K fanboys over here. We're not EA haters over here. If they make a bad game, we gonna dog them. They make a good game, we're gonna praise them. And I know those guys are hard workers over there and they want to do a good job.
Mhm.
But that's the element that I'm looking for to get excited about a Madden game. I don't want to hear about your new features. In fact, I do want to hear about that stuff. I like my career. I like all that stuff. That's cool. But if the game is not genuinely fun, like video game picking up the controller makes me excited to do things. We have a saying in the fighting game community, it's just fun to push buttons in this game.
Mhm.
You gotta make it fun for us to push buttons. I don't think it's been fun to push buttons in Madden. I think all of the rest of the things in Madden, the licensed soundtrack, the slick graphics, the connected careers, the what's the
Oh,
name
that
of it?
sucks. That actually sucks.
Well, but I'm saying it's still a feature that they have. What's the name of their not my career, but their story mode?
The long shot.
Long shot, the long shot stuff. It's all covering up what is not an inherently fun experience as a video game. And every department needs to work on their part. Getting a sack needs to be exciting, not just because you got a sack, but the journey to the sack. The
Yeah.
the difference between a swim or a juke, you know what I'm saying, or pancaking a guy. Like that all has to feel really good
And you know
before
what's
the
so
sack
crazy?
happens.
You know what's so crazy though? There were versions of Madden where it did.
Yeah.
There were versions of Madden where it did. Like if you go back to the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, it did. Like I maintain Madden 07 is still the best version of the game. I think it was the one with Vince Young on the cover.
Yeah, yeah, NCAA and that
Oh,
year.
well, NCAA was better.
Oh,
NCAA
crazy.
14, the last one they made is that is better than every single Madden game all the way back to like '07 to me. Like 14 is you want to talk about having fun doing stuff.
Yeah,
14 is really good.
and they need to
You know,
get to that.